Remember American Apparel, the brand that defined the 2000s hipster era with its supposedly ethical fashion? Boasting provocative imagery to endorse their collection of essentials, these same advertisements became hailed as activist campaigns, such as Sweatshop Free, Made in America, Legalize LA, and Legalize Gay. While these campaigns intended to radicalize consumers, support minorities, and advocate for social justice movements, they instead exploited minorities to greenwash their brand as diverse and ethical. This misuse of sustainability and radical thought would go on to follow American Apparel into its new life as Los Angeles Apparel. Born in Montreal in 1969 with the desire to replicate the quality of American t-shirts and get rid of sweatshops, CEO Dov Charney began by reselling Gildan and Hanes t-shirts at 20 years old. A year later, in 1990, he dropped out of college, borrowed $10,000 from his parents, and established American Apparel. American Apparel experienced great success in the 2000s, opening stores worldwide and crafting a dedicated young audience. The brand began to experience problems in the 2010s as a years-long battle with bankruptcy and multiple sexual misconduct allegations resulted in Charney's removal from American Apparel in 2014 and the creation of Los Angeles Apparel soon after. Without Charney around, American Apparel lost its founding spark as it became an asset of Gildan in 2017. By then, Los Angeles Apparel had already become Charney's resurrected American Apparel, with all of its predecessors' key issues still intact, including a lack of transparency and the unethical marketing strategies. The new brand followed nearly all the same ideals, still advocating for many social justice movements, even reclaiming workers and equipment from the liquidated American Apparel, and still boasting a vertically integrated supply chain located in Los Angeles, meaning the brand controls its manufacturing from start to finish. Vertical integration is typically referred to as a good strategy as it uses less transportation emissions and labor between production stages, but this potentially creates a competitive atmosphere of rapid response, in which items are quickly produced, comparable to fast fashion and sweatshops, and these integrated stages can lead to the overworking and harassment of employees. It is important to note that Los Angeles Apparel is not considered fast fashion as they steer clear of trends, cheap prices, and short lifespans, and rather embrace basics, built with more expensive materials for longevity. Using the city of Los Angeles as a branding strategy, Charney and his desire to eliminate sweatshops settled in downtown Los Angeles, a city with a long history of exploiting immigrant labor. The Los Angeles garment industry has existed mainly due to Latina and U.S. Chicana labor, which amounts to over 75% of all garment workers in Los Angeles, and with that comes the power imbalances that undocumented laborers face during employment. Due to their status, several forms of mistreatment are tolerated, such as wage theft, poor working conditions, harassment, and overworking. Historically, Los Angeles has remained anti-union, and as of 2015, less than 2% of Latino garment workers were unionized. In the documentary No Sweat, American Apparel employees reveal that their supervisors would pressure them to work faster, as they are only paid for the number of products they finished in a given day. Charney's Sweatshop Free campaign contradicts this stark reality as he uses loud and aesthetically bold Helvetica-like text to cover up the truth. Furthermore, since January of 2022, the garment industry has been combating this very wage theft called piece rate, as the Garment Worker Protection Act has been implemented in California, which guarantees garment workers an hourly rate no less than the minimum wage, which is $16.50 USD. Though despite Charney's perhaps overly friendly relations and advocacy for his employees at both brands, they have all suffered due to his negligence. For American Apparel, a 2009 government investigation resulted in the termination of 1,600 undocumented employees, and numerous sexual misconduct allegations against Charney a few years later would solidify his departure. During his time at Los Angeles Apparel, a COVID-19 outbreak left 300 employees infected and 4 dead due to Charney's dismissal of social distancing practices. Charney further exploited workers at both American Apparel and Los Angeles by using Latinas and LGBT individuals to bolster the brand's ethical reputation. In a 2009 advertisement, American Apparel published images of a girl who is a model, a garment worker, and a consumer, all in one. She embodies something like the American dream, that anyone can model for an American Apparel, be a garment worker for American Apparel, and buy from American Apparel too. The advertisement is colorblind as American Apparel's real workers are behind the pictured model. In this case, the Latinos are used as the backdrop to emphasize American Apparel's target audience. In the same vein, Charney prints images and mini descriptions of his employees onto the tags of his Los Angeles Apparel clothing items to give the consumer a sense of pride in knowing their dollar paid a non-white garment worker to make their shirt, which only fuels the disparity between the white consumer and the non-white garment worker. American Apparel has been intertwined with the LGBT community since 2006 when they released Legalize Gay shirts. In 2013, American Apparel sent out a casting call for transgender individuals. The campaign was called Trans Sexy. While the marketing fetishizes transgender individuals, the campaign to come was minimal and overshadowed by American Apparel's previous sleazier advertisements. Los Angeles Apparel has not been vocal about the LGBT community, but could be either taking a less fetishized approach to marketing or perhaps revealing their true feelings about the LGBT community. American Apparel and Los Angeles Apparel's campaign efforts are limited by the very form which they embody. The bold words of an advertisement, a few words on a t-shirt, a worker's face and signature on a tag, they all fall short by embodying a U.S.-based form of neoliberal social regulation of words. Contemporary scholarship contends that consumption is not a binary ethical versus unethical practice, but instead a dynamic choice mediated by a variety of social, political, cultural, and ethical factors. Likewise, an individual's views on comprehensive immigration reform cannot be completely articulated through wearing a legalized LA t-shirt. According to Good On You, Los Angeles Apparel is doing the absolute average, if not lower, in regards to sustainability. Given that it is 2025 and the climate crisis is only proving to be much more complicated than we previously thought, brands' behavior as less bad is not good enough. Highlighting effort rather than real commitment allows brands like Los Angeles Apparel and American Apparel to be mistaken for sustainable when there are so many brands doing far better than them. A great comparison model is FM669, an American brand producing high-quality basics under ethical practice. As a model for traceability, their name stands for Farm to Market Road 669, which is a road that runs near the organic cotton farms in which they source from. Los Angeles Apparel trails behind exemplary brands like FM669 due to its lack of transparency, as it claims to support workers with fair wages, reducing waste through circularity, and sourcing responsibly through U.S. farms to cut emissions while supporting domestic farms, but none of this information is publicly available. Los Angeles Apparel's website mission page lacks real information, data, reports, and certifications. The half-truths are also spread out throughout the list, where it is revealed that the brand does subcontract, and their materials are not exclusively sourced within the U.S., and neither environmentally friendly, organic, nor recycled cotton has been implemented into the supply chain. Under Charney's governance, American Apparel's history of greenwashing, exploitation, and prioritizing words over actions has only seemed to transfer over to Los Angeles Apparel, as they have continuously retreated from any sort of accountability. The brand only interacts with the idea of sustainability as a way to create profit. Los Angeles Apparel obsesses over its high-quality cotton shirts, but it can't even publicize where it sources its cotton from. And cotton is a huge deal in sustainability, as conventional cotton is drenched in synthetic pesticides and fertilizers that can lead to serious health complications. The lack of traceability and transparency between American Apparel and Los Angeles Apparel further embraces the shadow that Charney's character casts on Los Angeles Apparel's future. While Los Angeles Apparel does a few things right, its radical ideas, its focus on basics rather trend-based cycles, and vertical integration, without traceable materials, certified sustainable practices, and a union in place, as well as the history of Charney's negligence and colorblindness, Los Angeles Apparel might suffer the same fate as its predecessor, American Apparel.